In the event that we dispose of the lines, the most spellbinding star I acknowledge is the star that could be astonishing in our sky. It is this one, Insect-Juice or Scarab Press. It's a red Goliath star, and on the remote possibility that you put it where the sun is, it would connect with the circle of Jupiter. It's monstrous, extremely flighty, and going to detonate. Anyway, it's not by and large as clear as it gives off an impression of being in the universe. These legendary events, like the most incredibly dreaded gigantic starbursts, could shake all that we see, furthermore, don't see. To its center, Betelgeuse has been viewed as a sign, a red Goliath star that is a few times more huge than our sun. Brian Cox and other space experts accept it could go supernova anytime. People are generally scared of what will occur, particularly since the James Webb Space Telescope is taking astonishing photos of the star. When exactly will Betelgeuse become a supernova, and how gigantic of an impact will it have on Earth? Let us figure out this star in the group of stars Orion that shines so brilliantly that even individuals from a long time ago have seen it. The famous star Betelgeuse is situated on the eastern shoulder of the heavenly body, and it's the second largest star in that arrangement. Its name comes from this, the beast shoulder. It is very potentially one of the most brilliant stars in the night sky. On top of being particularly brilliant, the star is also an odd shade of red, which, as we will see, implies trouble. We've had some enormous familiarity with Betelgeuse for a long time. A Greek examiner named Tmy also thought for a little while about it. Around that time, the first thing people recognized about stars was their variety. Tmy said that creepy crawly juice was an orange variety. Researchers have been focusing on the star a lot more eagerly of late, and now have a smart idea of what makes it so unusually brilliant. One of these properties is that the star changes brilliance a great deal, with an obvious size of 0.6. Betelgeuse is a variable star, meaning its brilliance changes over time. However, recently, specialists have discovered some new information about the star. In 2019, researchers first saw that Scarab Juice was acting unconventionally. Even though it didn't absolutely quit sparkling, it turned out to be considerably less brilliant, sparkling at a degree of around 1.6. Researchers instantly began to investigate why they were seeing the 10th most brilliant star in the sky act in such an excellent way. Experts have made a startling statement considering their research, which revealed unusual signs. The star has recently shown signs that have caused a great deal of concern in space science. With new data about Betelgeuse, the star has been named as a supernova candidate. Anyway, researchers are still uncertain when it will detonate. The fact that Betelgeuse is numerous times the mass of the sun is one explanation for this categorization. A star, so to speak, should be a few times the mass of the sun to be known as a supernova. Things get really interesting anyway, because researchers have used various instruments to explore Betelgeuse, like the James Webb Space Telescope and the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory, to see what's occurring in space around it. What they found is still indistinct. Betelgeuse was born on August 31st, a surprisingly long time ago. Around that time, it allegedly gave peculiar signs that made its future faint. What did they find? At any rate, they could get difficult to miss light waves coming from the star, or over Scarab Juice, which is extremely strange. However, it wasn't the only thing specialists saw from the star. This brings us to the possibility that Betelgeuse is a star whose brilliance changes now and then. It was said that Betelgeuse darkened down at regular intervals and had dim spots similar to our sun today. Anyway, the conditions have transformed. It changes from brilliant to dim 2 times as fast as it used to, which is another unusual sign that Betelgeuse is back. Researchers found that the star's diminishing cycle had hit a band of brilliance at 1.61 in February 2021. This was not long after the gigantic darkening event. Remember how the stars seemed to diminish in an uncommon manner in 2019? That's because it's generally known that the incredible darkening was the beginning of Betelgeuse's odd behavior, and that made a lot of people worry that Betelgeuse planned to detonate. The scope of darkening was 1.2 between 2019 and 2020, and the most significant level of darkening ever recorded was in 2011. So, the fact that Betelgeuse would go supernova in the next 100,000 years makes experts certain. Due to the dramatic darkening, there is a cycle happening in the universe, so this is genuinely startling. Researchers immediately revised their viewpoints when they saw what occurred next. Betelgeuse got brighter once more after the incredible darkening, too, changing into something substantially more striking. Astrophysicist Andrea Dupree at the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics says that the star is now 150% brighter than normal, making it the seventh most brilliant star in the sky right now. Researchers were terrified when they saw a red shimmer in the southern part of the globe. Today, it still gets more interesting because this has prompted different considerations about what caused the Great Darkening. First, it should be noted that not all stars are as basic as Betelgeuse. The red gleam of scarab juice implies that it is a red supergiant star, which is the last period of a star's life and death. The red gleam, on the other hand, is caused by a surface temperature of around 3,500 Kelvin, which is substantially cooler than the outer layer of the Sun, which is 5,500 Kelvin. Since bug juice is cooler than our Sun, it transmits less energy per unit of surface area, regardless of the fact that it is more massive and on the verge of exploding. Now, we want to analyze what the incredible diminishing seems to show. Brian Cox asks, does it suggest that Betelgeuse will go cosmic? Explosion really the truth that Betelgeuse is a red supergiant star, as of now, shows that it is nearly done with its life as a star. A star that is dying will also commonly faint over time, which is a thing that researchers consider. All things considered, Betelgeuse's new unusual behavior has made researchers more concerned, and many telescopes are now focusing on the extraordinary darkening. Still, things get really interesting since specialists don't yet have a major understanding of Betelgeuse. Researchers are now using the most advanced instruments to pay special attention to the fascinating things occurring around Betelgeuse. The James Webb Space Telescope has been one of the best tools researchers have used so far. Beginning in 2021, the James Webb Space Telescope has been in space and has helped researchers gather some huge information about Betelgeuse. The new pictures of Betelgeuse's noteworthy diminishing, taken by this telescope, have shown that the event caused a surface mass discharge. In light of new research, we now know that this mass delivery was around 400 billion times more significant than a regular coronal mass discharge. The James Webb Space Telescope can also look at things that our eyes can't see, like light waves and frequencies. Thus, experts are excited for what the telescope will find. Researchers have seen dust clouds forming on the star's surface that seem to look like leaves in space. That doesn't make sense. Despite the fact that Betelgeuse will die, researchers are still observing it since they don't know when it will go supernova. Researchers believe that Betelgeuse is, on various occasions, more massive than the Sun. Furthermore, that the brilliant red star will shine for the next 10 years. Anyway, if we check out the numerous surprising things happening with the star, it's difficult to say if this statement will still be valid after the great obscuring. So, specialists don't think Betelgeuse will explode anytime soon. If Betelgeuse explodes, it will be the first cosmic explosion we observe for ourselves, since Johannes Kepler did in 1604. Researchers, too, don't believe that this will happen soon because they are still paying special attention to the star's particular behavior. No matter what, researchers are certain that Betelgeuse will go supernova. When exactly it will happen remains a mystery. If we examine the universe without the lines, possibly one of the most captivating stars, and perhaps the most surprising in our sky, is Betelgeuse. This red giant star, at any time set where the Sun is, would reach out to Jupiter's orbit. This undeniably huge, temperamental star is on the edge of an influence. The universe doesn't work in such clear terms. Amazing events, like the dreaded starbursts, could radically change all that we see. Betelgeuse has given enthralling signs. A red giant star that is a few times the size of our Sun. Cosmologists, including Brian Cox, believe it could go supernova at any moment. The worry lies in the results of this event, particularly since the James Webb Space Telescope has found upsetting photos of the star. So when exactly will Betelgeuse turn into a supernova, and what effect will it have on Earth? Betelgeuse's true potential to go supernova has intrigued cosmologists for quite some time. However, the most recent developments in space observation have brought this star into significantly sharper focus. The steady monitoring and investigation have exposed quite a number of idiosyncrasies that make this red giant a prime candidate for an eventual supernova event. Researchers are now deeply concerned not just because of the star's enormous size, but also due to the increasingly peculiar behavior it has been displaying. The Great Dimming event in 2019, for instance, raised a lot of alarm. It marked an unexpected and extreme decrease in brightness, something that had never been seen in such a conspicuous star before. Scientists initially tried to understand the cause of this darkening, and it didn't help that the behavior was so unexpected from such a steady and well-known celestial body. Some speculated that this might be a sign that Betelgeuse was on the cusp of detonating into a supernova, but others considered alternative explanations. The dimming may have been a result of something inside the star itself, like a gigantic haze of gas and dust that blocked its light, or an alteration in its internal structure that made it briefly lose brilliance. After this obscuring event, the star's sudden increase in brightness over the following months only compounded the mystery. The fact that Betelgeuse's brightness varies so radically suggests that it may be going through an unstable period of its life. It may be going through what's known as a pulsation phase, in which its outer layers expand and contract in cycles, releasing bursts of energy. As a result, while this is normal behavior for red supergiants, Betelgeuse's rapid fluctuations are unlike anything seen in other stars of its size and type. The reason for these abnormalities remains unclear, but they have drawn much more attention to the star. Despite these surprising light patterns, cosmologists have noticed the presence of unusual features on the star's surface, such as the aforementioned dust clouds that look like leaves in space. These structures are characteristic of a complex, tumultuous atmosphere surrounding the star. The fact that they appear to be so close to the star's outer layers is a worrying sign. These clouds might be formed by surges of gas, perhaps due to internal instability, or they could be the result of the star shedding its outer envelope in anticipation of a violent change. This kind of mass loss could be a precursor to a supernova, but it isn't yet clear whether Betelgeuse is shedding enough material to trigger such a catastrophic event. Another key factor in the ongoing investigation of Betelgeuse is its mass. As previously mentioned, Betelgeuse is several times more massive than the Sun, which places it firmly in the category of stars that end their lives with a supernova. Stars of this size typically undergo a series of dramatic stages in their final years, undergoing massive internal shifts before their eventual collapse triggers a tremendous explosion. Given its size and the instability currently being observed, it's believed that Betelgeuse could explode within the next 100,000 years. However, as we've seen, cosmic events like these can sometimes happen much earlier or later than expected. The accuracy of this estimate remains a topic of debate within the scientific community. The possibility that Betelgeuse is in the final stages of its life has raised numerous questions about what the consequences of its death could look like. If it indeed goes supernova, it will be one of the most significant galactic events to occur within the reach of human observation. A supernova explosion is capable of releasing energy equivalent to the Sun's output over its entire lifespan, and it can briefly outshine an entire galaxy. If Betelgeuse were to go supernova, it would be visible to the naked eye, even in the daytime, and it might be seen from Earth for several weeks or months. Such an event would undoubtedly capture the attention of cosmologists and stargazers alike, but it could also have more serious ramifications for our planet. Despite the star's extreme distance from Earth, about 640 light-years away, a supernova of Betelgeuse's size could still have an effect on our planet. While the blast wouldn't be close enough to cause significant physical damage, the radiation released could pose a threat to Earth's atmosphere, especially if the explosion emits large amounts of high-energy gamma rays or X-rays. These types of radiation could potentially damage the ozone layer, leading to a temporary increase in ultraviolet radiation reaching Earth's surface. This could have harmful effects on life, especially on plant and animal species that depend on the protection the ozone layer provides. In addition to the potential climatic changes, researchers have speculated that a supernova of this magnitude could influence the solar system's dynamic equilibrium. The shockwave from the blast could disturb the interstellar medium, possibly affecting the orbits of comets and asteroids. Though this may sound like science fiction, the gravitational and electromagnetic waves generated by a supernova can have significant impacts on the surrounding cosmic environment. A nearby supernova could trigger a cascade of events that ripple through the solar system, altering the trajectories of objects within it. On a more theoretical note, There are also hypotheses that Betelgeuse's eventual explosion could provide insights into some of the most fundamental questions in physics. Supernovae are believed to be key laboratories for studying the nature of matter and energy under extreme conditions. The death of a star like Betelgeuse could reveal more about the forces that govern the universe, such as the behavior of matter at incredibly high densities, the role of neutrinos in energy transfer, and the processes that lead to the formation of black holes. As researchers continue to monitor Betelgeuse, their understanding of stellar evolution, supernova mechanics, and cosmic phenomena is expanding. The ongoing observations made by cutting-edge telescopes like the James Webb Space Telescope are crucial in refining our models of stellar life cycles and preparing us for what may come next. The fact that Betelgeuse is so close to Earth, in cosmic terms, makes it an ideal subject for observation. Its behavior will likely provide key insights not just about its own inevitable demise, but also about the broader processes at work in the universe.